This is Sunday Breakdown. Every Sunday, we take one of our episodes, break it down fact by fact, show you how we made it, and reveal if there was a fake fact hidden among the real ones. And then we challenge you to spot it. Last Sunday, we gave you 3 wild facts about space photography, but one of them was trash. Can you spot the fake? Here are the 3 facts again. Let's go. Humans can't see most of the light spectrum. The first photos of deep space used regular cameras. The Earth casts a shadow on the moon every 2 years. You saw those facts. Good. Now pause the video and leave a comment with your pick. The number 1, 2, or 3. We'll be back when you've made your choice. Welcome back. So how many of you thought it was no, 3, the Earth casts a shadow on the moon every 2 years? Well, you'd be wrong. That one's real. And not just real, it's also the least unbelievable. Twice a year, the moon passes through the Earth's shadow in an event known as a lunar eclipse. But that leaves 2 other options, so let's check the other 2 facts again. Humans can't see most of the light spectrum. The first photos of deep space used regular cameras. One of these isn't right. Which do you think? Still not sure? Well, the answer's gonna surprise you because both of these are true. Humans can only see a tiny sliver of the electromagnetic spectrum, mostly between 400 nanometers and 700 nanometers. All light outside that range is invisible to us. But that doesn't mean the universe is dark. There are all kinds of light beyond what we can see, from radio waves to X-rays. The first photos of deep space also used regular cameras, but pointed at very specific points in the sky, since you can't just point a camera at infinity. Also, the sensors in these cameras were modified to detect infrared light, which is invisible to humans, but still part of the electromagnetic spectrum. Since the universe is filled with objects emitting all kinds of light, not just what we can see, these cameras could capture more of the universe than the human eye ever could. So how can this be a breakdown episode if there's no fake fact? Well, there is a big twist, the way we phrase the facts. While both are technically true, we tweak them just enough to make some of you doubt yourselves. For example, we said the first photos of deep space used regular cameras, but didn't mention that those cameras had modifications to detect infrared light. If you didn't catch that, it's as easy to assume that the first deep space photos were taken with the naked eye or a normal camera, which we know isn't true. Our brains can't see infrared, so maybe the fact is actually false. Because we doubted the phrasing, we tricked you into thinking we might have snuck in a fake fact, when actually it was 100% real. And that's why breakdowns like this are so fun. Space is inherently mind-blowing. Add in just a few carefully worded sentences and suddenly you're questioning reality itself. But that's a good thing. Thinking critically about what you see and hear makes us smarter, more creative, and better problem solvers. Just ask any teacher or parent. Speaking of teachers, we got a little nostalgic this week and went back to school. In honor of Teacher Appreciation Week, we checked out some old report cards, real and multiplication tables, and even had a pop quiz. I aced it, by the way, 100%. So here's your pop quiz question. Which country has the oldest university? Leave your answer in a comment and write pop quiz in all caps so we know. Then we'll reveal the answer next week. Now it's time for your mission. Should you choose to accept it, go back and watch this episode. Did you spot the fake? Here's another chance to win $100. Leave a comment saying I watched and tell us which fact seemed fake and why. We'll pick our favorite comment and contact you directly if you win. Last week we asked, which planet has the most moons? You flooded our comments with answers, and we couldn't be happier to see so many of you taking a crack at it. Saturn does, in fact, have the most moons in the solar system with 82 confirmed. Of the 10 winners we picked, most guessed Jupiter, which makes sense. After all, Jupiter has 80 moons itself. But some knew the true answer and others threw out some wild guesses like Pluto, which has 5 moons itself. Shout out to these winners who each won $100. Feel free to DM us your PayPal info. Congrats! Now it's time for your new mission. Like last week, we're giving you another multiple choice question and 3 possible answers. Choose which you think is right, A, B, or C, then head to the comments and leave your answer and the letter it corresponds to. Let's go! Which of these animals can experience time up to 6 times slower than humans? A mouse, B, a fruit fly, C, a blue whale. Well, we made this question pretty tricky because the answer is actually B, a fruit fly. When a fruit fly is in its larval stage, it experiences time 6x slower than humans. Scientists observe that their internal clocks are slowed due to low metabolic rates, meaning they age much slower than we do. While mice and whales definitely experience time differently than humans, it's not quite as extreme as a fruit fly. Before we reveal the winner of last week's challenge, it's time for another Mystery Monday. We're dropping a hint in our intro, so keep an eye out. Aha! Ready for your weekly brain teaser. Okay, here goes. What can be broken without being held? Last week's challenge question was, which planet has the most moons? And the correct answer was Saturn with 82 confirmed moons. Our winner is a user who wrote, I think it's Saturn. I looked it up. Hope I'm right. And they were. Congrats! Feel free to send us your PayPal info. It's time for your final fact. Most people don't realize just how weird time is. Literally, 1 second near a black hole equals decades on Earth. Due to something called gravitational time dilation, time is affected by gravity. The stronger the gravity, the slower time passes. So while you may only experience a single second while falling into a black hole, millions of years could pass on Earth, or if you're hanging out on the surface of Jupiter, which has insanely strong gravity. A day lasts almost 10 hours longer than on Earth. It's a crazy, upside-down universe out there. And that's why it's important to question everything. If we blindly trust what we see and hear, we might miss the truth. Like in this video, there were 3 statements and only one was fake, but 2 of them were a little fishy. They were technically true, but the wording made them seem questionable. If we hadn't pointed it out, you might have walked away believing that deep space photos aren't real and that humans can't see most of the light spectrum. That's why it's so important to look beyond what's on the surface. Think critically and use evidence to form your opinions. Next time you hear a claim, whether it's a friend telling a story or a headline making a bold statement, remember to ask questions, check sources, and evaluate the evidence. And don't be afraid to speak up if something doesn't add up. By practicing critical thinking, we can better understand the world around us and make more informed decisions. So keep questioning, keep exploring, and keep learning. Who knows what amazing discoveries you might make? And that's our final fact. Now it's time to turn the table. Spot the fake. Tell us which fact you thought was fake and why. Was it A. Humans can't see most of the light spectrum. B. The first photos of deep space used regular cameras. C. The Earth casts a shadow on the moon every 2 years. Leave your answer and reasoning in a comment. We'll be back next week to see how you did. Until then, stay curious. This has been InfoAI. Don't let space fool you.